welcome back to another video on the channel. Today's going to be a bit of a shorter one. I'm going to be doing a bit of a recap on yesterday's games. With that being said, yesterday's games were a bit of an L, and there was a lot of players missing on a lot of teams. Obviously, we saw the Knicks beat the crap out of the Celtics. For the Celtics, you're just still missing Jason Tatum amongst a few other players, so I don't want to read into that too much. Boston just couldn't shoot the ball well. That happens some nights, and it is what it is. Bulls beat the Mavericks. The Mavericks are still without Dorian Finney-Smith, Josh Richardson, Maxi Kleber, and I believe someone else along with that. Porzingis is still only in Game 3. Luka Doncic played very well. Nonetheless, Mavericks are missing pieces. Bulls won. Good win for the Bulls, but I don't want to read into that or discuss that game too much as well. Similarly, Pacers-Clippers. Pacers obviously don't have Karis LeVert. They didn't have Miles Turner on the night, and so missing him defensively is a big difference for this team. So the Clippers beat them quite comfortably, but I don't want to read too much into that game as well, other than the fact that the Pacers just aren't good defensively without Miles Turner, which we already knew, especially because they just don't have that interior presence with Sabonis at the 5 compared to Miles Turner, but Sabonis is still a beast on offense. And then that kind of just leaves us with the Pelicans and the Kings and the Jazz and the Nuggets as far as games that are actually worth talking about from last night. Starting off with this Pelicans-Kings game, let's just say two things. One, Zion Williamson is a beast, a physical beast, absolute specimen. He's just the absolute freak of nature. And he had 31 points on 15 shots last night. He was 13 of 15, 5 of 5 from the free throw line. And if this is, not even 50 games into his NBA career, and this is what we're getting from Zion Williamson, then stuff's about to get scary, man. Zion is a special, special player. Brandon Ingram did his thing again last night. Eric Bledsoe had a good game as well with 21. JJ Redick's getting his shot back a little bit. He had 14 points on the night. Jackson Hayes provided some valuable minutes for them as well last night, which is good because he hasn't been great so far this season. But I think there's a lot of athletic potential in him. So Zion and Ingram were able to help New Orleans get the win. But with that being said, I wanted give credit to two Sacramento Kings players here. Marvin Bagley had himself another good game. The last week or so, he has looked better. I didn't watch too much of this game, so I can't comment too much on his defensive production. However, 11 of 19 from the field, 10 rebounds. Can't be mad at that, 26 points. And then, De'Aaron Fox is nuts, right? Everyone saw, or I would assume most people saw that clip of De'Aaron Fox put down an absolute poster the other week. Who was that against again? Can't remember who that was against, but in that moment, I jumped out of my seat. That was nuts. De'Aaron Fox is just so athletically gifted. His vertical, his lateral movement on defense, his speed, and along with that, a good handle. And he showed it all last night. 13 dimes, 4 steals, 43 points, shooting 17 of 27 from the field. If he can improve his three-point shooting a little bit, then this guy's an all-NBA player, no doubt about it. He's already, in my opinion, an all-star. Now, given the West is so saturated in all-star talent, I don't know if he'll actually get an all-star nod. But as far as talent-wise goes, he is an all-star. There's no doubt about it. And he's worth every penny of that max contract. He just got paid. Buddy Hield had a decent shooting night as well with 18 points. Rashawn Holmes contributed well as well. But outside of that, they didn't get much production from anyone else. And that meant that Zion and Brandon Ingram were able to go along and get the win, which is a crucial win for them. They're only 5-7 now, so they're hoping to get into a play-in game, which it's probably their hope. They need to get things going. The Kings are 5-9, so they're really falling behind the 8 ball with that perspective. But the only other game on the night that I really want to talk about was the Utah Jazz and the Denver Nuggets. And Jordan Clarkson and Donovan Mitchell carry this offense. Let's just put it that way, as far as Utah goes. This offense goes as those guys go, and Donovan Mitchell had some big buckets in the fourth quarter, although he was 0-7 from deep. And Jordan Clarkson had 23 on the night, leading the team in points. He was 9 of 13 from the field, 4 of 8 from deep. He was very solid on the offensive end last night. And then it was just kind of some all-around production from there. Georges Niang was efficient on 11 points. Bruce O'Neal did his thing on defense and also put up 8. Bogdanovich had 17. Rudy Gobert had 15 and 13. And then Mike Conley had 8 assists as well as 14 points. So it's just all-around production from this team, which is what this team needs. They need one of Donovan or Jordan Clarkson to be able to be the guy on any given night, and then just have everyone else be able to put up anywhere from 12 to 15 points a night. And that's what they got last night. And if Mike Conley and Donovan Mitchell can put up 15 assists combined like they did last night, then they're going to be in a good spot. And so that's what this team had last night. And as good as their defense is, it's going to lead to success. And it's showing so far, man. They have a 9-4 record, 7-2 on the road for a team that started very poorly some of the last couple of seasons. But they're off to a hot start this year. I will give them that. As far as Denver went, it was the Jamal Murray and Nikola Jokic show when no one else decided to show up on the offensive end. Gary Harris was 2 of 11. Will Barton was 1 of 6. Paul Millsap was 2 of 6. Michael Green was 2 of 8. Monte Morris was 3 of 7. No one else did anything. And Jamal Murray had a good first half, but the second half offensively was pretty poor. He was 11 of 27 for 30 points. Nikola Jokic was 14 of 23. So high efficiency from him. So he finished with 35 points, 14 boards, 9 assists. He looked dominant as always. Jamal Murray's confidence in shot making just wasn't there in the second half. First half he was dominant, but the second half not so much. This Denver team's just missing something, man. Obviously, Michael Porter Jr. is out right now, which doesn't help them because they missed that third scoring option. But a combination of that and a combination of that lack of wing defense that I've talked about before, it's tough. It's tough for this team. So we'll get a bit of a better evaluation once Michael Porter Jr. does come back. We'll see how much of that is missing that third scoring option and how much of it is lacking the defense. But regardless, even with Michael Porter Jr. in the lineup, I don't think Denver win a game in which Will Barton is 1 of 6 and Gary Harris is 2 of 11. I just don't think it happens. They need those guys to be better. If they aren't, then this team's in trouble, essentially, in my eyes. So, PJ Dozier played more minutes than Gary Harris or Will Barton last night. He was only 3 of 5 for 9 points, but nonetheless, that's kind of where I'm at with these two teams. I think Utah's been really good. They've kind of flown under the radar, as they often kind of do. But it's a very good defensive unit, and if they can keep putting some points in the basket, then it's going to be a dangerous team. And this Denver team's just missing something, man. They're not the same team they were the last couple seasons. They're 6-7 right now, 3-5 at home, which is so uncharacteristic for them. Usually their strength is playing in the altitude in their home stadium, and it just hasn't happened this year. So with that being said, that is my thoughts on last night's games. I don't want to read too much into the other games, like I mentioned, given that there were so many players missing. However, tomorrow's episode should be a long one because we've got a nice long slate of games today. Pretty much everyone in the league plays today. The Cavaliers-Wizards game is postponed. But otherwise, we've got the Magic-Knicks that are already playing as of the time recording this. They started at 1 Eastern, I believe. We got the Hawks in action against the Timberwolves. Get a Pistons-Heat matchup to see if the Heat can bounce back against them. The Suns and Grizzlies play tonight, which should be a very exciting game. We get Chris Paul and D-Book against John Morant. The Bucks play the Nets, which is going to be an awesome game to watch. We'll get to see Giannis, Chris Middleton go up against James Harden, Kevin Durant, and possibly and hopefully Kyrie Irving tonight. So that is going to be a great game to watch. I'm going to have my eyes all over that one. My Raptors will play the Mavericks tonight. It's also going to be a very good game. Luka and Kristaps against Pascal and Freddie. You got Boucher and Lowry doing the thing in there as well. And then the Warriors play the Lakers at the late game tonight, which is also going to be a great game. There's so much good basketball on today. I'm going to be watching a lot of it. I hope you guys can as well, because this is going to be awesome, to be honest. Can't wait to see how this Bucks-Nets matchups go. I'm going to be so excited for that one. With that being said, hope you guys enjoy the video. Hope you guys have a good rest of your day. Feel free to subscribe and leave a like on the video if you guys do enjoy the content. Let's know you guys are enjoying and helps get up to other people. So with that being said, thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one.